All right, let's go to our next one. Northwestern versus Utah. Utah's favored in this one by 6.5. I do want to make a note. Bryson Barnes is in the transfer portal, but he did say he is going to play in this game. So I don't know if that means he's not going to commit until after, but they have like 3 quarterbacks in the transfer portal. Obviously, Cam Rising is not going to be available for this game. So Bryson Barnes did say that he's going to come back and play, but I think he realizes that he's not going to be the starting quarterback next year with Cam Rising coming back for like his 6th or 7th year or something like that. Crazy that that's what we have going on. But Northwestern, they are going to be missing their starting guard, Josh Pribe, however you pronounce his last name. He's going to be out for this one since he's in the transfer portal. It's going to be an interesting game. Listen, I have been a believer in Northwestern all year long, but with Bryson Barnes being there, with only one wide receiver out for Utah, I don't know if I see Northwestern winning this one. Connor, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it time and time again. I've been nothing but impressed with this Northwestern team, and I think that their entire goal this year was to go bowling. So the sheer fact they made it is extremely impressive. I do think again there's a little bit of a talent gap here going on, but that's kind of been the whole mantra for Northwestern this whole year. So they've continuously surprised me. I definitely see them keeping this one closer than 6.5, let's call it, but. I just think like you were saying, Barnes being back, and the majority of their team. I mean, like a year or two ago, this Utah team was hanging in there with Ohio State, so it's hard to picture them losing to a Northwestern.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Utah losing the Rose Bowl against Ohio State 2 years ago, the Rose Bowl last year to Penn State. This team obviously is hungry. So I just don't know if it's the best situation for Northwestern. Brett, are you like us, or are you a little bit more optimistic for the Wildcats?
I've got a bit of optimism for him here because, I mean, like Connor said, it's been their thing the whole year. They've been underdogs in a lot of games, and they've gone out and competed and even knocked off some teams they probably shouldn't have beat with the talent gap. I think this is a huge opportunity for the Big Ten West to kind of put themselves on the map one last time against definitely a more talented team. But David Braun, he's had his guys playing all year long. He won Big Ten Coach of the Year. The guys, they're not the most talented, but they'll go out and fight for their coach. They'll go out and fight for each other. And the thing with Utah, their offense, I mean, I think having Bryson Barnes in there is actually, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a good thing for Northwestern because I'm not sure who would be the next guy up, if anybody. But Bryson Barnes isn't that talented. He's not that great. The Utah offense has not been clicking that much this year. At least definitely not what it was the past few years of the Cam Rising under center. Definitely has been a setback, and they had more of an underwhelming season than they've had the past few years. I think they finished 7-5, if I'm not mistaken, which is, I mean, they usually expect to go like 9-3, be in the Pac-12 championship. They won it the last 2 years. Obviously didn't come close to it this year. So coming off of what's a disappointing season versus Northwestern coming off of a really impressive season, way overachieving what they were expected to do. I don't see any reason for Northwestern to not do it one more time.
All right, hey, you're more optimistic than I am. I don't know. I think Bryson Barnes is a gamer. I know he's not the most talented guy in the world, but I feel like he's one of those guys that he would do anything to have his team win. And I mean, Utah just has those kind of guys across the board. Now Northwestern does too. So I don't think this is going to be the most talented game in the world, but I do feel like we're going to see two really strong teams slugging it out, really going at it with each other. I actually have Utah in this one 17-14. I think both defenses are good in this one. I agree with you, Brant. Both the Utah offense is not as good, but I do have some concerns about Northwestern's offense and what they've been able to do. Northwestern, they're a Big Ten West team, so we'll see. Can David Braun bring the Big Ten West to Utah and make Utah not only lose to a couple Big East teams, but can they lose to a Big West team? It'll be interesting to see for sure. Thanks for listening to the Big Ten Huddle. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate that. If this was your first time listening, we are the Big Ten Huddle. We cover all things Big Ten football and basketball. We have a long episode every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, all at 9 o'clock. So come in, check us out, get in the chat, let us know what you're thinking. We would love to have you join us and learn more about the Big Ten.